And good evening, everybody. Jim Sinacrope here inside the FingerLakes1.com studios on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2014. And we're just a week removed from the 2014 It's a Wonderful Life Festival in Seneca Falls and the It's a Wonderful Life 5K. And so a big weekend coming up. And with that in mind, we have a ton of information for participants in the It's a Wonderful Run, for people traveling out of town, and for residents of Seneca Falls. So to help us answer some of these questions and share that information, I have two of the race organizers in studio with me tonight. Jeff Rook. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
Doing great, Jim.
And we also have from the Finger Lakes One sports team, another race organizer and founder, Kevin Korzaneski. How you doing, Kevin?
Great, Jim. Thanks for having us in.
So, the reason we do this, guys, is because it's 4,000 people come to Seneca Falls, and it adds to our population. And so there's things that these folks need to know to make sure the event runs smoothly, to make sure they have a good time, and to make sure residents know how to support the event and navigate town when the event's going on. So what are some of the important things, Jeff, that people need to know?
Yeah, that's exactly it. What we wanted to do is have another conduit, I guess, a different way of giving the runners information. Typically, we'll send out an email to everybody, but a lot of people just delete emails. So this is just another avenue to get the information out. So that's what we want to do. We want to. There's a lot of information, and because there's that many people coming to the town and coming to the race, the more that you know, the more information that we can give you as a participant, and also for the, like you mentioned, the townspeople. I think the easier, coming in, getting out, where to go, how to do things will make things a lot easier for everybody. So that's the goal here, to provide a lot of information.
And it's year number 6, right, guys?
This is, year number 6. I think we're what are we at? Around 2,800 right now, as far as people registered. So I guess number one, the first thing I want to say is if you haven't registered yet, register now. Go ahead and sign up. We do plan on. We were talking about possibly capping it at 4,000. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but we're going to be pretty close to that. We're going to be, I think, in the high 3,000s, possibly 4,000 people. So
you still get tons of race day registrations, right?
We do. We get a lot of race day registrations. So it all depends on the weather too. Last year we had a crazy Saturday, a lot of snow. So our race day registrations obviously weren't as much as we usually have, but we do have a lot of race day registrations. So I'll start right off,
okay.
Just to get right into it. First of all, as far as your packet pickup and registration, we do have a registration packet pickup on Friday as well as Saturday, and we always push people and stress that if you are local, if you are in Seneca Falls, Waterloo, Geneva, or even as far as Rochester, Syracuse, it's a lot easier to come in on Friday, pick up your stuff. It's not as helter-skelter, and you don't have to worry about battling the crowd on Saturday. So if you can pick up your stuff on Friday, it's from 5 o'clock to 9 p.m. On Friday night, and then on Saturday, packet pickup is from noon to 4. And again, race time is 4:40 p.m. on Saturday night, December 13th.
And Kevin, you guys always start right on time?
Right on time. Any race directors will tell you that they want to start the race right on time. That's when all the runners do. And we really try to do it because if it's cold, which there's a good chance it could be, people don't want to stand out there too long. So we'll start at 4:40. Even
last year we had a big snowstorm during the show. It started at 4:40. Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we should have Zuzu hopefully will be there again to.
She will. Just got confirmation today.
Yeah, to ring the bell to start the race.
She'll start the race.
Yeah, she starts the race for us every year, which is really cool, especially if you're a fan of the movie. One thing I'd like to emphasize this year is for the local people, the Seneca Falls residents, to come on out and join us. You can see Jim's got this great feed going of all the runners from last year and walkers, and everybody's smiling. And we had all that snow, come in, and people still came out. So if you live on the course, get out there and try to decorate your house a little bit. Come out and scream and holler, play some music. Come on down to Fall Street. Go out tonight on the town. I know some people probably stay in because the town almost, the town gets quite a hit. 4,000 or 5,000 people. If 3,000 ran last year, that usually means 4,000 to 4,500 will come because people come with family and friends, and but come on out. Everything's open, all the restaurants. It's a good time. We got Christmas music going down Fall Street, and
it's always quite a spectacle.
Yeah, if you don't want to volunteer, if you don't live on the race course, and you just want to come down and watch, please come down and join us. We put on a heck of a Christmas party.
And if you are on the route, if you are on the race route, we highly recommend you turn on your lights early. It's a 4:40 start, so it's just getting dark then. Some people don't turn their lights on until 5 or 6 o'clock. So if you are on the race route, turn on your Christmas lights early on Saturday.
And the people that have been doing it and plan on doing it, we thank you so much, because our runners love it, and we get great feedback on, the Cuga Street was great, and Fall Street was great, and State Street and Chapel Street, and nobody beats Chapel Street and Bachman, though. But
Rock with Bach, Chapel Street. Yeah.
We thank you so much for all the help, and you guys really bring the people back to Seneca Falls for this run.
Now, you guys also, speaking of Christmas lights, before we get to some more information on the race, you guys, the race committee donated, along with the town of Seneca Falls, Lakeside Engineering, and Seneca 2000, and It's a Wonderful Run 5K committee, donated money towards purchasing banners that will adorn Cross Fall Street, much in the style of the movie.
Yes, exactly.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We actually got we got 4 garlands. We also Generations Bank also donated a garland, so there's 4 altogether that are going up. We're hoping they're planning on coming in on December 10th, so a week from today they'll come in, and we'll try to get them up that night, and they'll be up for race weekend. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and this is all part of Seneca Falls Connects initiative by the Seneca Falls Business Association to drive business to town, and shopping local is a destination, and see how beautiful our town is at this time of year. So, all the windows in the shops downtown are decorated, lights throughout the downtown area and the People's Park area, and of course the bridge has lights. Volunteers from the Trinity Church are helping those in need. And help building some Christmas decorations in some vacant areas. So it's really, the whole town is lit up, and then of course the Gould this year is having a nice after party, in addition to what they do at Red's place. So it's really, if you're a runner, this is like
heaven.
Yeah, you really get treated well, especially in December when there's not many runs to choose from.
Right, a lot of things going on afterwards. Like you mentioned, Reds does their free beer. You bring your race bib in, you'll get a free beer. And the Gould Hotel is doing actually the same thing. They're going to give you a free beer with your race bib, and they're also going to have the smoker and a tent with some heaters and stuff set up out in the back parking lot for a little after post race party at the Gould Hotel too.
Yeah, if you want to eat, they will be charging a la carte, but you get a free beer, and
right. They'll have some pulled pork, some chili, some hot chocolate.
And Reds does a great job putting out food for us every year too. They always have food out for the runners, usually some appetizers, and they're also serving food. And Parker's gets busy. Parker's doesn't need to really run any specials, but that place will be slammed all night. You got the Taste of Bedford Falls afterwards. If you registered online, you noticed that for $5 you could taste local restaurants' food, which the Clarence or the Gould will be there. I'm sorry, the Downtown Deli, Parker's, all these places will have samplings of their food for $5, and you can, if you haven't registered at for $5, you can pick that up and as part of your registration.
Right,
fee.
and for those of you that have registered and you did buy a ticket, I know it says ticket on the registration site. Actually, we don't hand out tickets. All you have to do, if you did sign up for the Taste of Bedford Falls, just go to the event and give them your name. They're going to have a list of all the people who have already purchased a ticket, and that'll get you in. Just give them your name, and they'll let you right in.
So, all these folks coming to town need a place to park. What's the parking situation look like this year?
Yeah, parking. If you go to our website, and this is really important, a lot of this information that we're talking about tonight you can find on the website. It's www.itsawonderfulrun5k.com. And there is a tab on that, a parking tab, and there's actually, I think it's 10 different locations around Seneca Falls. They're all within a quarter mile of the start-finish line of the race. last year we had over 3,000 people here, and parking really wasn't an issue. It went pretty smooth. But if you look at those different parking locations, you can find a spot there. Or we also have a shuttle that takes you from the high school up on Troy Street, and will bring you right and drop you off right in downtown. And that will be running from 2 o'clock to 4:30 on Saturday before the race, and then it'll take a break, and then from 5:30 to 7, it will run. It will go. They'll get it going, and they'll take people back to the to their parking. So it's about a mile down the road. I mean, if you happen to run the race, you took the shuttle in. Let's say you're hanging out in downtown and you're doing different things, and you missed the last shuttle. It's a little less than a mile walk out there if you want to walk back to your car. Or there's a couple taxi services here in town.
568 taxi.
568 taxi. That's right.
Remember.
That's right.
It's easy.
American Way, I think it is. Yeah. So you can take a taxi over there too. So, take a look at that before you get into town. A couple other things, restrooms, bathrooms. The rec center is not going to be open. I think this is important to talk about. The rec center, as far as the hallway where all the restrooms is not going to be open this year. They need to keep that clear because of fire type of emergencies and stuff. So we are going to have 36 different. Portaloos, Porta-Johns, right outside. We're also going to have a tent set up out in the parking lot of the rec center.
That's new, right?
Yeah,
that is new. Yeah.
Both are new. We're trying to clean up the hallway in the rec center for fire hazards and fire codes. And we had the porta potties out there last year, but now the porta potties will be under the tent. We do have a frame tent coming in the parking lot that you can stand and wait in now, because really that's what the runners want, is somewhere to just keep a little bit warm before the race.
Kind of a staging area before the race, so there'll be bathrooms there.
And speaking of staging area, we do ask that all runners kind of pay attention to what their pace time is. So if you show up to the race and you plan on winning the race, you should probably be lined up on the bridge. If you have no shot of winning that race, you really shouldn't be on the flat surface of the bridge.
Just going to get in the way.
We got a lot of kids that come out and they get up front, and then some people stand with their friends, and the walkers and strollers are pretty good last year. Those guys should be all the way down by the rec center. It's chip timing, so when your foot goes across that mat, that's when your time starts.
At the start, right.
It will be different. It could take you 7-8 minutes to get to that start line.
But it won't matter on your final time.
But on your final time and for awards purposes, it won't win unless you're trying to win the race. So we ask that those people that are trying to win the race get up on the bridge.
And really, the people that are trying to win the race are probably about 15, 20 people, right?
Right. We've increased the cash prize this year, and last year we had $100 for first place. This year it's $200. Second place was $50. This year it's $150, and third place is $75. Realistically, Jim, 15 people there probably have a shot at winning the race. But these runners know when they get up to that front of the race, they look around and they'll probably tell you 5 people have a shot at winning the race.
Yeah, right.
They know best when they get up to that start line. And
really what it's about is coming through downtown at the end of the race, down the hill with the lights, and you can see that finish line as you're heading down the home stretch, and there's always a large contingent of townsfolk gathered there cheering people on, and so actually, that continues on for quite a while. So
forever.
It doesn't matter where you are. Matter of fact, if you're up in the front and finish first, then you're done. It's amazing to me to watch the runners start, and then you kind of move over to the finish line area, and then in like 3 minutes from the time you get there, here comes the winner. It's like a 15-minute
5K.
Yeah.
Right. We've had some very strong runners come to the race and win, and very impressive times. But, that's 98% of the runners are here to have a good time and get maybe their best time for personal best. Right. But still, I think most people are here just to enjoy the atmosphere and get a little exercise in during the holiday season.
Right.
And visit our beautiful little town.
But definitely pay attention to the pace markers. We'll have pace markers on the bridge, going down the bridge and over around by the rec center. So, like Kevin said,
if you're a walker, we love that you bring your dogs. We love that you bring your strollers.
Yep.
But it can get dangerous going down that hill on the first turn. It's very tight. Just be careful and recognize where you're going to be. Don't be in a hurry to start the race.
Right. And a couple other things about the actual course. most of the course is closed to traffic, but there is an area, and the locals know Cuga Street. But if you're not from around, Seneca Falls, it's basically the last, I'll say, 3/4 of a mile of the course comes down Cuga Street, which is a main, routes 5 and 20, and we don't block the entire road off for traffic. We take half the road, and I do want to stress for the runners to stay on the side where the runners are supposed to be. I guess we had not a lot of issues, but a few people who kind of darted outside the cones, and there's going to be traffic going. We've got the police department on both ends that are going to be sending traffic one way and then the other way, and so on and so forth. So there is going to be some traffic coming down that road. So if you are participating, if you are running in the race or walking, please stay inside the cones, because it's dangerous if you get outside that.
Yeah, and our police department's done an outstanding job over the past 5 races, trying to keep everybody safe and have a good time. So, just be careful on that Cuba Street. There is traffic coming both ways. You might not see anything ahead of you as you're running down Cuba Street towards Fall Street towards the end, but behind you there might be some cars coming. So, you got to be careful there. The rest of the course is pretty much closed. You're not going to see any traffic. So.
Are people going to have trouble booking a room this late into it?
I know the Gould Hotel is booked. I'm not sure about Holiday Inn or Hampton.
Usually next week I'll run the numbers just out of curiosity, but the Holiday Inn is an option. The Hampton Inn is a major sponsor of our race. It's a new facility. It's only been 2 years. They do a great job for our race. They usually, provide our runners with some little trinkets and things, and they've had shuttles before. So I would, number one, if the Gould's closed, I would check with the Hampton, and there are some bed and breakfasts, but they're probably already booked. There is a microtel in town, but I'd go with the Hampton first, see what they have, and then check out Holiday Inn, and if they ever booked up, then you could move to Auburn. I know we've had people stay in Auburn and Geneva as well.
Right. Well, you're talking about a 15-minute drive tops, right, from Auburn or Geneva to Seneca Falls, which when a lot of people travel from a little more metropolitan type areas, that's like a commute to the store.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, Auburn and Geneva are definitely options for our runners.
So dress for the weather too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, keep an eye on the weather forecast. You're going to be outside for an hour and a half, and if it's cold, dress warm, and you'll have a good time.
Yeah, right. And it's funny because some people are saying, "Man, I hope we get the snow like we did last year." I heard it today, and I'm thinking to myself, it was nice, but it did make everything a little bit more
maybe
difficult.
only once every 5 years. Although I'm telling you, if that happens again, I'm not going to complain. It was really, it was last year was, in my opinion, the best run yet because of the snow. It might not have been the most competitive conditions to compete in, but if you're talking about Christmas spirit and It's a Wonderful Life, true feel, community, and the community was all out in a major snowstorm. It was awesome. I know the logistics of running a race for 4,000 people is tough when it snows, and there were issues that popped up, but at the end, I'll never forget, the feeling last year around that start-finish line and around that bridge. So if it snows, let it snow. Maybe it's Christmas season.
That's right.
We're going to try and wrap this up soon, right, Jim? The next couple minutes or so. Yeah. Maybe I'll come up with a little more wrap-up. I know John Farini in Baldwinsville is going to be watching this at some point, and he gets mad when we say we're going to finish at a certain amount of time, and we don't. He's got things to do. Which wants to bring me my last wrap-up. We are trying to put together I'm on year 3 of some of these runners want to know of who's done every race. So we will have a 5-year list coming out in the next week. I've got through 3 years, and we're down to under 100. So that'll be done soon.
I would have thought it would have been more.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I we'll see what that final number is, and hopefully I'm not missing too many people.
Well, that speaks well to how many total runners have run this thing over the past 5 years. I would have thought that maybe 800 to 1,000 would have been repeat participants, mostly people that live in town.
The first year we only had 400.
We had 400.
So never get more than that.
Right,
gotcha.
We had 404, and then we went from year 1, we went 404 to 131. Now, most of these people can tell you that they've done it 4 out of the 5, 3 out of the 5.
A lot of repeats, but not all
5 out of 5 is tough on the holidays.
Yeah,
it's holiday season. You got office parties going on. So.
Right. A couple other things real quick. We are doing the texting as well. So if you want to get your results after the race, I think he's going to have that set up on Wednesday of next week. It's December 3rd right now, so December 10th. I think if you want to sign up for texting, and basically how that works is when you get done with the race, you can set it up where you'll get texted your results, so you don't have to go in and fight the crowd or whatever. So if you want to get your results texted, you can do that. What else did I want to say?
As you think, Jeff, I'm just going to remind everybody to take one silver bell, please. One silver bell. Sometimes we get some people grabbing a handful of them. And
Oh, that's
we don't
right,
want
the
it. We
bells
don't.
on
Yeah,
the
we don't
sneakers.
tie it to your sneaks if you like, or your hat, whatever you're wearing. We love costumes and outfits, but just take one for yourself.
Right.
Those things are expensive.
Silver bells?
The
They
silver
are.
bells,
Well,
yeah.
speaking about cash, you guys have donated a ton of money to the Seneca County House of Concern, among other charities. What was the total last year?
We did 40,000. We gave away $40,000
Can you-
last year, and we were adding
It's
up kind of
unbelievable.
over the years. We've gone over 100,000 as far as
Yeah, I think it's about $103,000.
$103,000 we've given away in 5 years.
So you guys and your wives, Jolene and Tina, had an idea in a race, and 5 years later, it's generated over $100,000 for local charities, and much needed for the Seneca County House of Concern too. So, congratulations.
Thank you. That's,
Thank you.
That's the one thing we can kind of hang our hat on at the end of every event, no matter how many things we screw up or how mad we make a certain runner, that we really have dipped in and given some money to our community. So runners, thank you, because without 4,000 runners, you can't give $40,000 away.
right.
And not to mention all the money that the local economy, reaps from it, the hotels and the businesses and the restaurants and the gas stations. And so we thank you for spending money in our town of Bedford Falls.
And as we mentioned before, there is a lot of things going on. Not only the post race parties, but with the weekend, there's a lot of things going on Friday, on Sunday. So I mean, it's
That full
definitely
schedule's online at therealbedfordfalls.com.
Exactly.
Tons of
Tons of
events.
stuff.
Definitely a good reason to get here. If you're participating in the race the night before, stay the day later. Make a weekend of it in Seneca Falls. And in addition to the realbedfordfalls.com, senecafalls.com, the official website of the town of Seneca Falls, has a lot of local information and businesses and information there. So, any parting shots, guys? Do we miss anything?
Just one last thing. If you do want to volunteer, we're still looking for volunteers. We've got a great group that volunteers. But send us an email at wonderfulrun5k@hotmail.com. That's our email address. If you want to help out with registration, with handing out water, traffic detail, there's a lot of things to do with a race like this.
Post-race cleanup.
Post-race cleanup, yes. You don't have to spend a lot of time. You spend as much time as you want to.
Yeah, you could spend up to 10 hours, probably
Right.
10, 12 hours with Jeff and I
Or
all
14
day.
hours for our case, yeah.
Or an hour after the race or before the race
Right.
or during the race.
But if you want to help out in that way, send us an email and let us know.
All right. Well, it certainly is set to be another fantastic weekend. The 6th edition of It's a Wonderful Run 5K and the annual It's a Wonderful Life Festival in Seneca Falls, which actually becomes Bedford Falls for the weekend. So check out the information online at therealbedfordfalls.com and at itsawonderfulrun5k.com. And I'm Jim Sinecroba. You'll see me milling around the start-finish line on race day, and stop by and say hello, and we'll see you in about a week and a half for the big event. So good luck, fellas.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.